help release any tension and tightness you may have in your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quadriceps, thighs, and also your TFL, the tensor fascia latae, which is a little muscle here, just where you would locate a front pocket. These are typically tight muscles during pregnancy, but also prior to pregnancy, so you can also follow this video if you're not pregnant. We're using the foam roller, which is really great for increasing oxygen flow and nutrients to the muscles. You're going to feel more energized. This will help you have fewer aches and pains during your pregnancy and help you balance your body. You'll need a foam roller today and also a couple of yoga blocks to help elevate your body off the mat when we come to roll our thighs. This self-massage is also going to save you a ton of money on massages and time traveling to appointments. So let's get rolling. We'll start by foam rolling our glutes and our TFL first of all. That's our tensor fascia latae. Take a seat onto your foam roller. Take your left foot, place it over the right knee, and then just take your left hand onto the floor, your right hand onto the outside of the knee. And then from here, we're just going to roll up the glute, not too far, roughly about 5 to 8 centimeters, and then roll back. So it's a small movement, just getting into the glute maximus, the center part of your left glute. Now with your breathing, inhale as you go up towards the hip, exhale as you go down. Inhale, exhale. Doing 2 more rolls. 7. A roll is up and down. And 8. And then hold it there. And then we'll take that foot off. And we'll do the same with the other leg. Bring that foot up and over. Place this hand onto the knee. And then the other hand just rests onto the floor. And then again, same movement, rolling up and down the center part of your glute. Taking a deep breath in as you roll up towards the hip, and then exhale as you roll down. Three more rolls. 2, 1 more. And then release. Place both the feet back on the floor. We'll roll over. I'm going to roll over towards you. We're going to locate the TFL. So it's like a front pocket. If you just find the bony part on the front of your hip and then go down and slightly to the side, that's the TFL. It's kind of, that part of the muscle is actually a small area. So we're going to place that part of the muscle onto the foam roller. Rest down onto your forearm and your hand onto the mat, and if you find it more comfortable, you can come onto your hands, both hands. And then with this knee bent and the top and the bottom leg straight, and just placing pressure into the foot and the hand, you can place more pressure or less pressure. We are going to just locate that muscle and then just hold it if it feels tender. We're not going to foam roll it if it's very tender, we're just going to hold the position. If it doesn't feel too tender, then just roll up and down, just a small area, about 5 centimeters, that's all. Okay, so again, not big distance. And you're not rolling the bony part of the hip, you're rolling more that fleshy part of the muscle. I'm going to take about another 5 rolls. And then we're going to just roll back over into the glute medius and then roll forward. So rolling back and then rolling forward. And you can place this hand wherever is comfortable, either on the foam roller onto the floor. And again, you can be a little bit more upright if you find that more comfortable too. And take your time here, you're just rolling into the TFL and then back across into the glute medius, which is the side of the glutes. So this works or releases help release both of those muscles. 2 more. 1 more. Excellent. And then bring your knees down to the mat and slide off the foam roller. We'll come across to the other side. Let's locate that TFL on this side now. So bony part of the hip, so it's a bit tricky to find, and then go down and slightly to the side as if you have a front pocket of your jeans. All right, that's the kind of area. And then place that area onto the foam roller, resting on your forearm and your hand. Bottom leg is straight, top leg is bent, placing pressure into your foot and into the forearm and the hand. And if it's very tight, you're just gonna hold it here. You're not gonna foam roll up and down. If you find it feels okay, then just take a small roll up and down. Again, you're not rolling a huge distance, about 5 centimeters or so. Remember using that breath, the ever so important breath. So with the breath, we can use the exhale in particular to really try and let go. Okay, so remember you're just holding if it's too tender. Alright, too tender to roll. Couple more rolls. 1 more, and then we're going to hold it here, and we're going to roll back into the glute medius, and then roll forward. So rolling back, and then rolling forward. And again, play around with your hand position. If you feel it's more comfortable, just rest on your hand. Place this hand on the roller, you can do that, coming up. Otherwise, onto your forearm and your hand. 2 more rolling back and then rolling towards me. 1 more. Big breath in, big breath out. And then gradually slide yourself off the foam roller, placing your hips onto the mat. We're moving now into the hamstrings. So place your legs over the foam roller and rest the foam roller just above the backs of the knee. We're going to try to do both legs together, but you can also do a single leg, 1 leg at a time if it feels too much, and I'll show you both. I want to know how you're feeling so far by releasing tension in your glutes. Do you feel more energized? Are you feeling lighter, less tension? Comment below this video. Always love to hear from you. So first of all, with both legs together, we're going to rest onto our hands, and then we'll roll up towards the glutes and then back down. Otherwise, go 1 leg, so see your right leg, place the other foot onto the floor on the knee bend and roll up towards the glute and back down. And then you'll do 1 leg first and then back up towards the glute and back down with the other leg. I'm going to go back and demonstrate with both legs, but it's your choice if you wish to do single leg. Resting on the hands, we're going up towards the glutes and then rolling back down the knees. Towards the knees, but avoiding the back of the knee. We're not rolling the back of the knee. Now with this one, I like to turn the toes in a little to get a slightly different part of the hamstrings. You could do that as well if you're doing just 1 leg. And then we can also turn the toes out. So deep breath in and out. And if you're finding this is a little bit much on your shoulders, do a single leg. Okay, so do your right leg first with me, just rolling with me, just doing the right leg, and then we'll switch to the left. So if you do your right leg first, and then switch over to your left leg as I continue with both legs. We'll take the toes together now, keep the legs squeezed together, the feet flexed up towards the ceiling. 1 more, and then place your hips and your glutes back down onto the mat. Move the foam roller right down to the bottom of the calf muscle, right at the back of the leg, just above the ankle. Lengthen out your legs, flex your feet, again resting onto your hands. We're going to just shuffle up towards the back of the knees and then back down. Up and back down. Now again, if this feels too much for you, do a single leg. Alright, so you're just placing one foot on the floor with a bent knee and the same thing with the other leg. Okay, but do all of the rolls with me now on one leg, so your right leg if you're doing a single leg, and staying with both legs. Okay, 4 more rolls. One more. Good. Alright, and then switch legs if you're doing the single leg version. And again, we're going to just turn the toes in. Get a different part of the calf muscle, just more of the inside there, and then turn the toes out. Oh, mine feel quite tight here on the outside of the calf. Let's go one more roll. And then bring your hips back down onto the floor. We're going to flip over. Take hold of our yoga blocks or thick books. Now, depending on the progression of your bump and the size of your bump, that will depend on how many yoga blocks or thick books you have. You might wish to take a few more just to elevate your upper body higher off the floor and make it more comfortable. I don't have a bump because I'm not pregnant, so I'm going to just take a couple of blocks here. Place the foam roller just above your knees, rest over, and then rest your forearms onto your blocks. Tuck your toes, that's important, and then roll the foam roller up towards the hips, and then roll all the way down towards the top of the knee. So up, just shuffling onto your forearms, and then back down towards the knees. Inhale, and exhale. Try and squeeze the legs together. Now, if again 2 legs is too much, just do one leg then the other. So if you have the long femoral roller, you'll need to just move out of the way. Just place your knee to the side of the mat, and the other leg is straight, and roll up and down onto, up and down, down towards the knee, and then up towards the hip. And that's how you would do the single leg version. And then switch over. I'm going back to both legs. Tucking the toes, and then breathing in, breathing out. You want to really try and again get into any areas that feel particularly tight. And with the thighs, we're going to hold again any tight, tender parts. And we're going to do that together now. So let's hold. I'm going to hold here where I feel quite a lot of tension in the bulky part of the front of my thigh, right in the center. But yours might be slightly off to the side, or might be a little lower down. Remember, everybody's different. Also, another tip is you can come onto your hands, but you want to avoid overarching your back too much. So that's why I like to rest onto the forearms. I'm going to hold and take a deep breath in and out. So remember, it's so important that you don't hold your breath when you're holding the position. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, exhale. And then just take another couple of rolls. And release. So we're going to come onto our hands, bring our knees down towards the mat, walk the hands back so we're away from the foam roller. Thank you so much for watching and joining me for this session today. I would love to know if you've released any particular muscles that were feeling tight. So comment below this video, tell me which muscle feels the best after this session. Plus, remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications of my new video releases every week. Plus, for an extra bonus, if you're looking to get into great shape during your pregnancy and you're not quite sure how to, then click the link in the description below this video to get free access to my pregnancy workouts to tone your arms, sculpt your glutes and your legs, condition your entire core, and strengthen your body so you can have your fittest, healthiest pregnancy ever and recover faster after having your baby. So check out the link below this video to get free access to my pregnancy workouts. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in our next video.